Social justice activist gets kicked out of fellowship for constant complaints and claims of racism. This is an article by the Daily Wire. I've been using them a little bit. They come out with some pretty good articles like this that you don't normally see in bigger mainstream media type things. But this is a good one to talk about. I'm just gonna read it. It's mostly short. I'll stop a few times to talk about it, and then I've got a few other links here by actual Cornell students and writers. A social justice activist at Cornell University was kicked out of the school's Alliance for Science Fellowship and is now calling the school racist, despite complaints from other non-white fellowship students regarding the behavior. The student, Julia Fellas, uses the pronouns they and them, and according to other students in the program, would constantly tie every classroom issue to social justice issues. This takes time away from the science and frustrated other fellows. The Alliance for Science program, as described by Cornell, is supposed to equip and empower emerging international leaders who are committed to advocating for science-based communications and access to scientific innovation in their home countries. A note on this is that Miss Julia, who should probably get mad if I call her Miss and She, but I'm going to do it anyway, that she is from the United States, so she's advocating for this stuff. I think she's kind of missing the point of this whole thing. This is supposed to be for international leaders, but I guess she wants to be an international leader somewhere else. And that she wants to tie everything to social justice, which, to be fair, maybe this has something to do. It's not like the biggest stretch of imagination, because this is kind of advocating for science and other countries. You're advocating for immigrants and stuff like that. Maybe you could put it that way, but from what it seems like, that's not what her social justice is about. It's about racism and sexism specifically, is what it seems like, especially with her whole they-them thing. She's trying to force on professors coming in and other people using it like that. That's not what this is about, and you making the classes all about that is interrupting it and ruining for everybody else, is what they're saying, basically. The College Fix reported, which I have right here, reported that Felez, which they keep saying their name, I'm going to say she and her and all that kind of stuff, because I'm not saying Felez over and over again, accused a visiting professor from Iowa State of using racist and sexist terminology, of speaking loudly, walking towards them to intimidate them after they asked a question. And there's actually no proof of this. Felez didn't provide any statements or ways anything was racist or sexist. The only thing they probably thought it was sexist was not using they and them over again. But then again, you're inviting a professor from Iowa who doesn't know this stuff constantly and is going to mess up. Like, if that's the problem with the whole they, them, and different pronouns, is that if it's somebody from somewhere else and you tell them, they're not going to get it right away, because they don't use that stuff on a daily basis. Especially even if it's just with you. If it's a group of buddies and everybody is normal and saying it just wants to be called he or she like everybody else does, and you're like, I want to use they, them, or zer and z or some crap, they're not gonna get it. It's just not normal conversation, which isn't a problem. I don't mind using that kind of stuff if you really are adamant about it. I don't mind it, but you can't get mad whenever somebody messes it up. Like, it'd be mad if somebody called me by my full name. I'm like, you need to call me Gav. Call me Gav, or I'm gonna be pissed off. And somebody just calls me Gavin. Like, I'm not. You can't get mad at that kind of stuff. It's even worse than that, because it's not a social norm. Me telling you to call me a specific name isn't the same, because that's the only name you've ever known me by, probably. Whenever it's a social norm like he, her, she, them, or she, her, whatever. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. When it's not a social norm like that, it's even harder, because it's built into your system. So if you get mad at somebody for not doing it intentionally, especially, it's counterproductive. The problem for Felix is that their activism and constant classroom interruptions is what truly led to their removal from the program. In a statement, Cornell Senior Director of Media Relations and New News John Carberry, I keep saying Cranberry, Carberry, noted that 27 of 31 students accepted into the program this year's semester were people of color. He also said that Cornell was alarmed by Felis's allegations, including that the school attempted to deport Felis from Carberry's statement. And I don't think it says. Yeah, it says the reason they said they tried to deport her is because they purchased a ticket for her to go wherever she wanted, to back to her home country if they wanted, because that's what they apparently do, I guess. But they paid for her entire stay, for housing, all that kind of stuff, because this is an international thing. This is for this. What it seems like is this is for people who are coming, like they have what's it called? International programs where you get somebody, let's say from Ireland or something like that, and you're like, come stay at our school. We're here to give degrees to support international leaders and stuff like that. Is what it seems like. But this girl's from America and was just in it for, I guess, to say she got the degree and to push her little social justice thing. So when they gave her this thing they decided to pay for a ticket back to her home country if that's what she wanted. She took it as racism, that they were trying to deport her. I mean, the mental gymnastics of people. It's accurate that Miss Phillips was asked to leave the 2019 Fellows Program. This decision was not taken lightly. This was after MX Felix. I guess they keep using it, so I guess this is a thing. MX. I'm just going to say her, when she engaged in behavior that caused numerous and repeated complaints from other fellows over many weeks. It became clear that the educational experience of others was being compromised due to the ongoing interruptions of classroom lectures and discussions by Felix. Cornell staff made many attempts to support and work with her, including referrals to appropriate universities' offices to explore allegations of discrimination in the program. However, Ms. Felix chose not to take advantage of the independent university sport programs, instead raising concerns within the classroom, leading to additional complaints from other fellows program leadership, ultimately determining that sincere regret that she was not allowed to be benefiting, or she was not benefiting from the program, and that Ms. Felix' continued presence was depriving other fellows of the opportunity to benefit from the program, which makes complete sense. If you're not using the program correctly, and then they refer you to, hey, if you've got complaints about this kind of stuff, we've got appropriate avenues for you, and you don't want to use them, you just want to create disruptions, you're going to be out. And that's how it is. I mean, that's how it is with any class. If you're in band class in high school, and all you want to do is talk and not play the instrument, or you're making a joke of everything, they're going to kick you out of the class. It's the same thing here. If you're not using it the way you want, or the way you're supposed to, they're going to kick you out. And like I said, there may even be a place for what you're talking about in here, but when you bring it up constantly and you don't allow the discussion to go anywhere else, it's going to cause an issue. I just read that part. This is the last bit. Like I said, short article. This was not enough for Felix, who demanded an apology from Cornell, the certificate for completion of the program, access to Cornell's campus adjudication process to report unjust discipline, sensitivity training for faculty relating to racial and gender issues, and safe spaces on campus for marginalized students, fellows, and staff hosted by workers. Look, man, let's get real close here. If you need a safe space, you probably shouldn't leave the house. I'm just gonna say that now. I really hate this stuff. Look, if you need a safe space, like a little room to get away from everybody because you can't take it and your little feelings are hurt too much, you probably shouldn't be leaving the house, or you're probably faking it. And those people really piss me off because you make everybody else look bad. Students at Cornell naturally rallied around Felix. The student assembly even passed a resolution in support of the student. It was pretty unanimous, even though Alliance for Fellowship spoke out against Felix. A student from Nigeria said the fellowship was an inappropriate forum for Felix to make comments about social justice. A student from Kenya said Felix was an activist in sessions, and that activism came out every single session we had. Felix called these statements neo-colonialism in real time. Again, this is someone from the United States claiming that somebody from Kenya is perpetrating neo-colonialism. This is somebody who is mentally ill and has no idea what she's talking about, and probably couldn't even tell you what neo-colonialism is. They cut out a part of this quote. By the way, this is Miss Felix right here, or Mix Felix, or whatever. This is the saddest boy in the world, by the way, and this is somebody who just looks like they're triggered at all times. Let me see, is at the bottom of this article. Whatever. I'll link it in the article. But basically, the girl from Kenya was like, her activism was so bad that she couldn't even get in anywhere. Like this girl from Kenya was like, I want to talk about the issues that affect my country. This is supposed to be about international science and how we push that and how we become leaders for it. And she was like, I can't even talk about that because the social justice stuff is just every time it's just getting in the way. And this is the article by the College Fix that came in, and these are articles. This one is the rally afterwards it was about 20 people here. I mean, do these people look like exactly the type of people who would be rallying against this kind of stuff? You got Frog Girl here. You got John Lennon here. You got Curly Redhead Boy. And you got Miss Felix here. Oh boy, this is quite the crowd. Anyway, I will link these below. You guys tell me what you think. This is what is it all coming to? My name is Gavin Lee, and this is my channel, LeeCast. Thanks for watching. I put out videos most days on current events, politics, and more. Please subscribe and give me advice on more of what you'd like to see, and help me build this channel into not only a source for all things political and current for you, but also a place less polarized by political insanity, a whole lot more common sense and discussion, and a lot less two-party bias. Subscribe below and comment on what you'd like to see. Thank you.